What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Shep's Garage video. Today is the big video you guys have probably all been waiting for. 2 years with my Mark 8 Volkswagen GTI. Today I'm going to tell you the everything, how 2 years as a whole this car has been, how has my last year been with this car, and most importantly, would I still recommend buying a Mark 8 GTI after my ownership was over 2 years. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Get started. If you're new to this channel, this is the first time seeing my face on your screen, don't forget to please click that subscribe button down below for more awesome car videos like this. I've been trying to diversify my content lately with S5 content and, you know, first person content, but you guys like the GTI videos and I have a slew of GTI videos coming up soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned, stay subscribed. You guys have been crushing it with support lately on the Mark 8 GTI videos, and I hope you guys do the same for all of these new videos coming up. Now, let's get back into the GTI. So, for those who are new to the channel and are just stumbling upon this video, this is my Mark 8 Volkswagen GTI. It's a 2022 SE and it has a couple modifications on it, which I'll go over. But the most importantly is, over the past 2 years, I have done right around 18,000 miles with this car. So I've done almost 20,000 miles on it, which is kind of ridiculous, actually. You know, most people, I've seen, there's only one other 2-year review on YouTube right now, and the guy's done around 8,000 miles on this car. So I've done about 10,000 more miles than him. So I think it's gonna be interesting from my perspective, at least, on, you know, how's this car been. Real quick, the modifications consist of the wheels, the exhaust, the Golf R wing, intake, and H&R lowering springs and spacers, and that's basically that. But I think what you guys mainly care about is how's this car performing over 2 years. So to kind of basically shore this up, just in case people click away in the next 30 seconds, this car has never been more reliable. I have had no issues, major issues with this car over the past 2 years. I have had no major complaints with this car over the past 2 years. This car has been fairly reliable, and it's kind of been living up to the Volkswagen name that if you just maintain your car, it will maintain you. Well, it will take care of you, basically. There are still a couple of things I do want to go over with this car, starting out with the modifications. How have the modifications been holding up over the past 2 years? So, let's start off with probably the most important thing, and that is the suspension. Now, my car is lowered on H&R lowering springs, and I have spacers, which kind of give it the fitment it has now. It looks really good. But over the past 2 years, I have had no complaints with lowering my car. Now, the lowering springs have been on there for, I would say, about 1.5 years, but I've spent a whole year with the lowering springs on there, and I have had no complaints. I mean, there are definitely times where I wish I didn't lower my car when I start, for example, when I go up very steep driveways and it kind of scrapes the underside. But other than that, like, I really am happy that I lowered my car. I mean, I recommend you do the same if you don't have to go up a steep driveway every day. But I'm very, very happy with the way that this car sits lowered, and I have no regrets with the lowering springs, definitely. That goes the same with every single modification on this car. I have no regrets on anything that I have done, and that's also why, you know, I haven't done a downpipe yet, and I haven't tuned it yet. It's because that, you know, I haven't really felt like I needed that extra power. I do think for the daily driving that I do with this car, this amount of power it's fine for me. Modifications aside, I do want to talk about the normal maintenance and stuff. So, I've only had to do a couple of maintenance-related items. First of all, around a couple thousand miles ago, I'd say about 15,000 miles ago, around 15,000 miles, I had to top up my coolant for the first time. So, I mean, that's nothing new. If you know VWs or own a VW, they kind of eat coolant, unfortunately. So, I had to spend a whopping $38 at my local Volkswagen dealership for 50/50 coolant, and I filled it up and it's all good. Other than that, that's really about it in terms of maintenance. I am going in for my 20,000 mile service soon, so I'll let you guys know about how that goes, certainly. But other than that, this car, maintenance-wise, has been flawless. I haven't had any major issues with this car. I need to find some wood to knock on wood that I don't have any issues with this car, but basically, this car has been flawless. I've had really no complaints with it. Another thing that I also do want to update you guys on is the known issues that this car does have, and have those affected me. So a lot of times, for example, like the screen, for example, and the travel assist errors and all those sort of normal bugs and glitches that these cars just kind of have. Now, I just want to say that I feel like I've been lucky. Like, I've heard a lot of my friends who have Mark 8 GTIs, and you know, I've seen a lot of people on the Facebook groups but I have not had any major of those bugs and glitches. I've not had any travel assist errors ever pop up for me. I have not had the backup camera issue. I really haven't had any of those bugs and glitches. And you know, over the past 2 years, sure, yes, on cold days like today, it's currently like 40 degrees outside right now. You know, the screen takes a while to start up and everything, but that's just kind of normal at this point. I do think, though, that I'm looking forward to seeing how 3 years with this car changes, because who knows, as older this car does get, it may have problems, but I'm not going to call anything out. I haven't had any of the major bugs and glitches that I've had with the screens that other people are having, but overall I'm very happy with how this car is performing so far. So, now you guys know how this car has been performing over the 2 years. I do want to talk about what are the remainder of the plans with this car, because as of right now, I've kind of split this car kind of up into phases of what I have ideas for. Currently right now, I'm nearing phase 1. I hate calling things builds, because really all this car is just wheels, an exhaust, an intake, and some suspension. I hate calling this a build. This isn't a build. You know, I haven't swapped anything into it. So this is just phase 1, I'm calling it, of my GTI, and that is OEM Plus. Like, that's basically what this phase is right now. Currently right now, I'm kind of nearing the end of this phase 1 part of the GTI in terms of modifications. The only remainder things that I plan to do to it are maybe the OEM, the European taillights for this car. I may think about doing that. I also may think about doing, the only other 2 things that I'm thinking about doing before I go on to phase 2, which I'll reveal what that is in a second, but that definitely probably will be a tune and maybe possibly a downpipe. I'm not going to call anything just yet, but those are the 3 things I'm kind of thinking are like the last couple of things before phase 1 is sort of done. So after phase 1 is basically done, I'm thinking about going from OEM Plus, which I really have enjoyed OEM Plus, but I'm thinking about going from OEM Plus to sort of more of a sort of tuner type build, or not build, phase I should say. So maybe ditch the lowering springs and go for some coilovers, some new wheels, for example. I'll definitely beef up the engine for some more intercooler, maybe bigger turbo, stage 2, who knows. That definitely is an idea there. And then also, maybe in terms of sort of a livery or wrap, I'm not too sure exactly. I know that's probably the route that I may be going over, and I'm not full stance, but just more tuner type thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. But in conclusion, with my Mark 8 GTI, 2 years has never felt any better. It literally has just been bulletproof. I'm very happy with the way this car has been performing, and I still have 0 regrets. So if you are thinking about buying a Mark 8 GTI, best purchase I've ever made, honestly. Such a reliable car. I think Volkswagens get, you know, flack on like, oh, they're not reliable. You should give God a reliable car. Like, you know, if you buy a Volkswagen, you just gotta know how to take care of it. The people that say that have bought German cars and haven't maintained them properly, which is why they end up with a slew of warning lights. This car, I've maintained properly. I'm taking care of it. That is why it is treating me with happiness, and that's why I'm treating it with happiness. So on that note, that is 2 years with my GTI. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, comment down below any other videos you guys want to see with my Mark 8 GTI, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.